Good afternoon / evening, good time zone. So this is ITSL Silver Playoffs against Edge King. I don't think we've played before. We are unplayed. Very good. So, where are we at? Martial Plan opening looks fine. Although it's our only 4-op card. We've got Blockade though, so if we get purged we're in a bad way, but it's not the end of the world. The alternative is to open 4/4/2 and use Containment. We'll get more than 5 ops of value from that. But we don't get the option of using Martial Plan. And I think we want to be aggressive, don't we? Okay, so let's... Socialist government's coup's bad, but it always is. I think we open Martial, right? It just seems really weak to not open Martial Plan, knowing that that then triggers Containment, which they... NATO, which they struggle with. It would be nice to have more 4-op cards, but we're not blessed with that. So the only question is it worth Containment so we can space NASA event blockade on Korean War? It seems like that's much more risk averse. But spacing NASA, blockading Korean War, ideally eventing Romanian abdication before Independent Reds, although it runs the risk with D-Style, and leaves us several ops. I don't know. I simply don't know which is the better of the two. I suppose the fact we have blockade and we've got 3 1-op cards means if we went with Martial Plan, we'd be very ops-light the rest of the term. Plus, if they have a bad Italy coup, we could always event Martial Plan AR1. As long as they don't do socialist governments coup Italy with NATO, which is like the worst case scenario for us. But do I plan for the worst case scenario, or do I plan for something else? So, it's probably wrong, possibly wrong, but I like to make mistakes. So let's go with Containment. So we'll go 4/4/2, headline Containment, giving nothing away. And if I get purged here and it evens out, I hold on to Blockade. Yeah, there we go, brilliant. So I hold on to Blockade rather than ditch one of my other cards, which means eventing NASA. Let's see how the first coup goes. Big old coup on Iran. So let's go Egypt and Thailand. So we'll space Korean War and hold Blockade this turn. Well, hey, getting purged turn 1 would have sucked, so using Martial Plan could have been a disaster. It implies they're holding defectors, because most USSRs blanch at the idea of purging without defectors in hand. If they coup Egypt, we'll counter coup with Formosa. If they spread influence, we'll see where it heads before deciding if we space Korean War. Ideally want to get off to space first and try and fight for those 2 VP. Get the swing. Afghanistan's not nice. That's alright. That's a sufficiently neutral tempo play that I will just space Korean War, especially with 1 in. And we get there. Bonus. It's not great tempo because they've put influence in, but we now don't want to event Korean War with them having put some influence in South Korea. And we can get a cheap coup off on Lebanon if DEFCON's alright. So that gives us some flexibility. The worst case scenario is where they coup Egypt, we counter coup, and then they, decol into Thailand or de-style into Thailand and Algeria. So we'll have to see how all that goes. But that seems to be a kind of I don't have any scoring cards, so I'm going to spread my influence type play. Suggests they're not holding independent Reds because they played Arab-Israeli War for Ops. That suggests that they're also disinclined to play defectors if they can get away with it. Try and hold it for as long as possible or space it to avoid giving up a VP. But as the turn has played out so far, I'm thinking there's probably not going to be any scoring cards dropping this turn. I think that's nice for us. It's a free op. Yep, continuing to spread influence around. So we'll put them under pressure in Europe while DEFCON's on 4. So let's play into France and force them to use Suez or de Gaulle. My sense is as long as they're not swinging domination in a region, we don't have to immediately respond. The trouble we have here is we're of course being saddled with a whole bunch of one-op cards to see the turn out. We need to make sure we maintain presence in Middle East, not least because NASA's going to trigger. But they continue to plug away. Okay, so now Middle East is a problem. So we will use Marshall Plan to even up. And I guess we can... What do we want to do here with the remaining 2 ops, right? Jordan doesn't help a lot. Arab-Israeli war's gone, so I suppose we can put 2 in Israel and be ready to... Yeah, be ready to counter coup and use a 1-op card to finish taking Israel. Don't know if that's ideal. At the moment, we seem to be negatively trading ops, right? They're using 2, we're using 2. They use 3, we use 4. So that's not great. Middle East scoring. Well, that's good for us. Let's see if we can get another coup off. With Middle East scoring dropped, NASA's a good time to get rid of. And obviously Arab-Israeli war. If they get the last coup to claim the VP, we can play into Thailand for ANOP, which is not ideal. If they don't coup, we coup. We have the frustration of not having seen D-Stull or D-Col yet. And obviously Duck and Cover's gone. So they might have the opportunity to headline a really strong card, which we'd like to avoid. Yeah, decall. That's not good for us. But it does mean we don't want to... 1, 2, 3. Curses. So we can't break Asia domination because we can't tap North Korea, which is deeply unfortunate. So we'll overprotect France against de Gaulle to some extent, although of course they can flip it. And obviously they now need to choose between filling Thailand and dropping DEFCON because it'll be at 4. Not great, but we can live with it. So decall and Romanian abdication. We're holding blockade, giving up 2 VP, so we're at parity, but DEFCON goes to 4 with no easy way for them to reduce DEFCON. So we can blockade SOCGov, we can space Cambridge 5 or Vietnam revolts if we want to use captured Nazi. I think we just headline European scoring and hope not to see de Gaulle. Let's hope they headline Asia scoring, knowing that they hold defectors still, we suspect. Plan NATO. SOCGov. Vietnam. Cambridge 5. Captured Nazi. Okay. Yeah, I think we go Europe scoring and hope not to see de Gaulle or Suez. But it gets it out the hand and gives us a bit of freedom to play ops. And obviously we're hoping we don't see Asia scoring and that they choose between cooing at Thailand, cooing and giving us Thailand, or filling Thailand and giving us a chance to have a crack at something. Not that there's a lot of something, obviously. Iran or Egypt are the best bets. With Nasser gone, Egypt's a good shout because then we kind of lock up pretty much all of... Oh, Truman Doctrine's fine. Well, that's nice. I mean, it's a shame to get Truman out the deck, but obviously we now have lost Yugoslav adjacency and bag a nice big juicy Europe domination. That's nice. So will they fill Thailand or will they coup somewhere? They'll need to really fill Thailand up because we're going to get a nice big 4-op coup on it. Okay, 3 ops. So let's just check our chances. A 5 forces them to use the China card, and a 6 means the China card won't save them. I think we still go for it. Just turn the headphones back on. Okay, I think we still go for it, right? Give me a big old 6. Now's the time. A 2 is not what I was looking for. But they now have to choose between refilling and cooing themselves. And if they refill, we accept we're never going to get ahead of the game on Asia, but we take a coup somewhere else and deny them mil ops, bar strictly Indo-Pakistani war. They did have defectors all along, so they now need to be holding Indo-Pakistani war to get any mil ops this turn. Alas, really could have done with that coup going down well. So that was a 2 and a 1, wasn't it? Well, sometimes you can't beat the dice. We're in the awkward position here where we kind of want to blockade away socialist governments when it's turning to turn 3. CIA is at least active because of the South Africa movement. So let's see. Will he remember to move into Angola? Yeah. Okay, nicely done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not going to be able to race on country count in Asia. So I guess we keep pushing Egypt. Really want to be dealt D-style in turn 3. Do not want to be seeing a D-style. Independent Reds goes to space, as it must do. So what do we do? I think we have to blockade away socialist governments to finish getting Egypt. And then we can event captured Nazi AR 5 and Vietnam revolts AR 6. Asia is definitely a lost cause, so I guess we want to overprotect France against de Gaulle. Yeah, we really want to be dealt D-style in the reshuffle. That's our crunch moment. UNI, US Japan, NORAD. Okay. Where did it go? Zaire and Pakistan. Fine. We just event captured Nazi on a 2/3 square, which is a bit galling, but we're not certainly using it for ops, and we're also not giving up Vietnam revolts before it's time. Do you have Indo-Pakistani war? You do. Dang it. Well, at least they don't get the extra 2. Okay, so we'll overprotect France against de Gaulle. Don't want anything bad to happen in Europe. Let's see what turn 3 brings. Alas, we got dealt CIA. But we can ditch Middle East scoring fairly well. And we can purge them. We are fairly high on ops. I think purging is the way to go. They got D-Style. That is bad. They got D-Style and we got CIA. Blech. They got US Japan, Olympic Games, and Fidel. So they're holding US Japan, Olympic Games, Fidel, de Gaulle. They're not going to headline Olympic Games because they must worry about duck and cover coming back in the reshuffle. But I think we purge them. They don't know we hold Middle East. They know we hold Asia and they know we can do nothing about it. I think we purge them. And I expect to see Fidel or another card that's come back in the reshuffle. Cambridge 5. Oh, they get to see Middle East. That's not great, but at least purging them is good. So, expect to see 1 in Egypt or 1 in Saudi. But they need to put 1 in Egypt or Libya and then coup. We want to get Middle East away for 0, accept the fact we're eating Asia, and then we're in a hard way with the rest of the world with D-Style coming. Well, if we can get to Saudi first, that's fine. So yes, alas, we're going to be going in the negative now because they get Milops to 3 and Asia for 6 or 7. 7. Ugh. Not good. Okay, well, let's press the case in the Middle East to try and get domination. We have little option otherwise. And we can event Arab-Israeli war knowing that it can't go off when we take Jordan. They'll now need to use the China card or US Japan to compete for Saudi. And US-Japan obviously is a swing for us, which we take. We're a wee bit hard up here, though. Okay, so they're just bagging VPs in Asia. Oh, a 6 won't do it, Sunshine. Not today. So they're holding US, Japan, Fidel, and D-Style, and no other cards. So they need to put 3 of the D-Style ops into Gulf states if they want to level up the Middle East. So at least we get Middle East Dom. 4, 5. We could space De Gaulle to try and get the 2-op square. Let's see what they do now. Event Fidel. We want to do Asia. We want to give them a chance to play US Japan, don't we? So yeah, Middle East scoring first. Well, now that's 8, isn't it? Yeah, they're going to go in 1 VP ahead, but D-Style is really hurting us here. Right, we're going to realign on Venezuela. Splendid. Uh, no, they're going to get access to Algeria through De Gaulle. Alas, we do all right. And of course, AR6 is Asia scoring. So do you use US Japan and give up a VP, or do you use your other card, whatever said other card is? Got to watch out for one small step. So this may come down to mid-war who gets the power cards, who gets ABM, who gets Hunter. Do I get VOA? So for example, knowing I hold Asia scoring, using US Japan to give up 2 VP swing but break France isn't a bad move now. One I may come to regret. But also, being controlled in South America, I would also regret. So maybe the regrets are manifold. Uh, Totally missed that. So did use US Japan, didn't break France. Happy days. Went Mexico and RG instead. I'm happy with that because I feel like the real damage could have been done. And now we're going to end up on parity at the end of mid-war, but then with the advantage in where they've developed. We got ABM, boom, missile envy, boom, brush war, boom. Not shabby. Where to start? Right. Da, 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 da. Early war cards. No, we got bear trap as well, blimey. 9, 10. Removed 11. Yep. 10, 11. Fine. Add mid-war. Right, let's focus. ABM. Missile envy. Brush war. Want to use Cultural Revolution while they're holding the China card. Sadat. Bear trap. OPEC. So what are options? We can bear trap, get a coup off, and then use brush war and missile envy. Or we can hold bear trap through the turn, but that's bad when we get quagmired. Let's use bear trap, and if they fail, we can then use missile envy. So they get some access to, further access to Africa. They get out in 1, which is a shame. But we'll flip Zaire. To avoid control. If they don't immediately drop a scoring card, an Africa scorer specifically now, we could also press on. They don't. That's interesting. So now I think they don't hold Africa scoring. So I think we ABM Argentina and we keep brush war in our back pocket. 4, 5, 6, please. Boom. Thank you. Yep, Chilean response. We take Panama for presence. Well, again, they'd have played that by now, but at first. We could 66% brush for Algeria, and then we can spear Nigeria if we succeed. Boom. Excellent. So now we missile envy into Sahara and Cameroon to take Nigeria. It is, alas, the way sometimes it breaks. Excellent. So we managed to spin Africa scoring away, which is a good result. So we can now... Let's reduce the Southeast Asia burden while also playing into Panama. Because we want to keep a 2-up card for the end of the turn to tap Chile. Oh, perfect tempo. I mean, we're giving up points, which is sad, but can also live with it. Let's try spacing OPEC. Alas. I don't want to give up another 2 VP and a 50-50. We need to watch out for one small step, which is a bit frustrating. Needs the Millops, very wise. Please miss. But it's a big swing. So that's a 4 VP swing their way. What's best here? Let's overprotect France with Sadat. And then we can tap Chile with missile MV to finish the turn. And we can always use CIA to drop DEFCON in the headline, if we wish. Oh, that's bad. Okay, now we don't tap Chile, we just repair Panama. Good, we got one small step. Puppet governments is great for South America and Nigeria. So... Defectors followed by Panama Canal returned. What's my 9th card? Puppet. Okay. We can send SOCGov to space. Maybe Flower Power if we don't need the cards, but we've already seen Indo-Pakistani War and Brush War go. What do we want to defect? We will bury you, Muslim Rev, Quagmire, Decol, Hunter, or defect. Plenty we can defect. Quagmire, nice. So they want to get a coup off on Panama. Please miss. That's not missing. Lovely. Now Cuba, please. One more. Lovely. Presenceless domination is of course bad, but not as bad as that. And they need to be holding it right now, of course. It does, of course, mean I will need to play into Cuba and need to watch out for Ortega late game, as well as Lone Gunman, which is not great. So I may wish to slow my roll on spacing. Well, Transport of Yetch will be pleased to see I was realigning there instead of using my ops another way. And I guess the dice worked for me. But then it's been alright, right? The coup, the brush war, the ABM have all been good. So the mid-war dice have been on my side. So, looks good for us. Great. So I think we'll puppet governments into Venezuela, Mexico, and Nigeria to give them a hard time choice-wise. Ooh, though India's attractive too, isn't it? Although India's never going to level up. No, we'll stick with plan A. Do we want Nigeria? I suppose it just creates a coup target. No, let's go India, Mexico, Venezuela. While we fairly strongly control Algeria and Zaire, we don't have an incentive to play into Algeria. Okay, so which do you take? Okay. So we respond by taking Brazil and Mexico. Next we coup Colombia in order to set up spear realignments in Venezuela. Because they are, of course, a couple of turns off getting back to Cuba. Yeah, shuttle dibs in play, that's the disparity. VP tracker's not looking great, but Europe's still to be scored. And now they're starting to give us those incrementally annoying VPs. But now we want to coup Colombia. We're not too fussed about India right now. That kind of forces them to counter coup. And now it's a 3. It needs to be relatively high. Go low. Ooh, just right. The third bowl of porridge. Let's have another one. Oh, boo! But we will use Panama Canal returned to tap and we'll space SocGov, I reckon. Jams it. We will instead event socialist governments and hope not to get stung here. Because if they go 2 West Germany, 1 UK, we got a bit of a hard time. Please don't have a 4-op card to finish the turn and jam. Oh no! So we'll event Panama Canal returned. Ooh, that's galling, because that's the difference between us being ahead and being behind. Woo! Nasty. We can ask not away lone gunman. Oh, we can U an intervention, actually. Yeah, that's good play. Love it. Put CIA back in the deck as well. Yeah, let's ask not away South Africa. Muslim Rev Lone Gunman keeps you an intervention and hope not to be dealt Lone Gunman again. Yeah. Going for big ops. And We're ditching Muslim Rev, Lone Gunman, Summit, South America. We'll ditch IR, and we'll ditch CIA, because we want a 1-op card. We want to put it back in the deck. 15 cards in the draw pile. Summit, Lone Gunman, Muslim Rev, South America, CIA, and Independent Reds. Summit as well. Yeah. And I'm holding Nixon. The deck is significantly more blue than red. And we might get dealt decoy, which is nice too. There's a lot of good blue cards. I think we go for it. So we will bury you, which we can use an intervention. OAS is nice. Duck and cover's nice. Grain is excellent. We want to event it in turn. And we know they won't get arms race VP. So coup on Panama. Puts NATO into play. Ah, that coup. Oh, that's greedy. Now they need to drop Central America scoring immediatamente. Oh, gonna jam West Germany? Oh, jam Mexico. Give back West Germany, that's nice. No more 4-op cards, although 4-op card, both 4-op cards didn't matter. They Brezhnev themselves and then played 2 4-op cards. If you're that ops rich, do you have no other headline? Portuguese Empire, Iron Day, Decol. Well, they must not hold Decol if they go with that. So now we overprotect Mexico. And with Cult Rev gone, I think we event Nixon if we can, spacing Willy to avoid the VP swing. And going for it. Panama now. What do we get? Warsaw Pact, Assyri, NORAD, 5-year plan, Salt. I think now's the time to grain sales and hope to bag a 3-op card. Ooh. That's a shame. But it may force them into playing a card that they wanted to hold. I think now we have to use Nixon for a coup for Millops. A little frustrating. Big old ops war in Central America though. Whew. And how? We'd love Middle East scoring to come out before Asia, thanks to shuttle diplomacy. Ah, boo! Okay, so I think what we do here is we fill Canada ready for NORAD. AR6 we could coup Guatemala. AR7 we could use OAS to tap Panama to swing domination for Central America if they don't hold it this turn. Nice. Jam the heck out of those. Gonna repair or are you gonna be greedy? So now we coup Guatemala. Excellent. An AR6 we can tap Panama. Do you have VOA or CRG? Right, so we've got the China card now and Cultural Revolution's gone, so we can hopefully avoid DEFCON suicide. Let's not get redealt Lone Gunman immediately. Reshuffle's definitely happening. We want to try and snag Decol. So what are you ditching? Oof. Let's force you to do the same thing again. Was that good? It was fine. Access isn't a major consideration here. So after those 4-op cards, actually it wasn't a bad move to Brezhnev. But now let's hope we get dealt Central America scoring and can do something about it in the headline. Probably not, because now they can Hunter. Ooh, John Paul is sassy holding Warsaw Pact. If we can tear down this wall, we have the dream of a Europe control. So I make they have Hunter, Salt, Colonial Rearguards, Allende, and Kitchen debates. So Hunter looks like the headline. So I guess that makes nuclear subs our headline. So that we can coup the heck out of Panama and Mexico. Yeah. Nuclear subs. We're going to clean up Dodge. So they may want to event Salt here to take back Hunter. Ooh, curses. Follow it up with the UN. VOA, oof. Okay. You prepared to give us... We're going to hold the China card and see if we regret it. 5 or 6, please. Nuclear subs is in effect. 5 or 6. 6. Very nice. So, they've got 6 cards. Salt, Colonial, Iron Day, and Kitchen. South, great. So we'll go Comic-Con and force them to play for avoiding domination in Central America. And now I think we're going to space decol and hold the China card. And now we're going to space decol right now. Oh no, we don't need to right now. Tempo, tempo. They can't space twice. Yeah. Up 1 even, even, up 2, up 1. I think we... Oh no, down 3. It's close on kitchen debates. So I'm going to count it. Even, up 1, even, up 2, up 3, up 4, down 3. So we're currently ahead on kitchen debates. So we'll finish taking India as well, or at least threaten to take India, so that kitchen debates becomes less playable. Omit, so here's a chance to pull Lone Gunman, which would be swell. Nice, Wheelberry you. Sokgov. We'll keep Independent Reds in as it's a friendly 2-op card. Sokgov, Suez. Nice. So now they're going to have to event kitchen debates and give us some sweet, sweet Veeps and a poke in the chest. And I'm still in for... Here we go. I'm still in for Overprotect. Spacing, Decol, Inventing, John Paul AR7. Let's get it. We got there! Go NASA! The scoreboard goes blue. So we've got an AR7 Salt coming. DEFCON 5. If they do that, they're giving up... No, because they'd be giving up 4 VP. Okay, so we won't event John Paul. Or will we? We're okay in Europe. I suppose the key here is to stabilize around the board. So let's overprotect West Germany. And add late war cards. So if we can fade Asia scoring, war games hopefully shouldn't be a consideration. Yeah, jamming Poland's wise. Come on, late war. Be good. Asia scoring. Brilliant. But we can Aldrich it away. Oh, brutal. Love it. North Sea oil for 8 action rounds doesn't help us because we're going to Aldrich away Asia scoring. So Indo-Pakistani war at 1 in 3, but flower power's in effect. So is it Nixon for 2 VP? Or is it ABM treaty to avoid missile envying it? No, we missile envy Thailand or Asia to try and level up Asia, because then we could always take Thailand as well. I think it's ABM treaty, isn't it? But we really want to have the back pocket option of Aldriching away Asia's scoring. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll flip to 7, 6. And I could take Taiwan. I know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to take Taiwan and Afghanistan. But it's attacking the unscored region with a scoring card. What's the alternative? ABM treatying Angola? No, because we can move to Nigeria anyway. Let's event ABM treaty and see what they play. Lone Gunman. For total information. Thailand for access to Laos. So 5 or a 6, please. Oh, a 1. Oh well. I suppose there's the... Unless they play into Thailand now to overprotect, we can flip with the China card and steal it back with Nixon. Ah, but we then can't Aldrich Ames away Asia. So worst case scenario here is we get Missile Invid and lose Muslim Rev, but I think one of our first plays will be to space that. Which does mean we're not holding the China card because we run the risk of getting hit with... Well, this could be worse than VP. Yeah, it's worth a lot of VP. That's harsh. Ouch. Where do we want this? Do we flip Asia? Take it back with the China card? I think we do because long term we want to... That means now it's an empty action round. Ditching Asia. But if we get dominated in the end game, we're still ahead in the Middle East, Europe, Central America, and even in South America. Is it more risk averse? I think, okay, let's put one in Thailand and space Muslim Rev, because if we were to get missile envid, because they wanted the coup, let's not end up in a situation where we can get stung. 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. We don't want to end up in a situation where they could missile envy us out the Middle East and swing domination there, because we're going to ditch Asia for 0, and we've got enough control elsewhere on the board and turn 10 AR7 that we can probably see it through. What we need to dodge now is Ortega, because we're in Cuba. Boo. Okay. So we've got our plan for the turn. We have to play into Pakistani war, and he's not going to play Evil Empire before he can. So let's take Pakistan now if we can. 1 in 3. Big money, no whammies, and stop. No. Oh well. Flower Power did its thing. It was worth a punt. With Solidarity gone, there's absolutely no reason to use John Paul for the event. So we will event Nixon for the 2VP. Fine. Because we're not giving up the China card freely, and they have lost Cultural Revolution. Iran-Iraq War, duck and cover. We are peaking, which is useful at this point of the game. So, now's the time, with Africa unscored, to move on Nigeria. And threaten to realign Venezuela. So only Che here is really bad for us. If they coup Saharan states or Cameroon, we jam 2 into Nigeria. Oh, they've got Che. Brilliant. You can prepare for everything, can't you? Okay. The next? Well then. So, 2 into Nigeria. Ah, well. You can't win them all. That was the perfect response. It's always nice to have a card that answers. Goes for the big realigns. Yeah, 5 was always going to be a push. So we'll 1-op coup Cameroon. No 1, please. Perfect. So now Africa swings our way as well. 2VP for special relationship. It's all coming up Millhouse. We'll overprotect France. Aldrich away Asia. So no terrorism Ortega, please. That's what we're looking to avoid. And we can play, rather than coup, and go Zimbabwe, Sudan. Overprotect Nigeria to prevent the big swing. Europe's good, Africa's good, Cal's good. Warhug Godiol. Okay. No Ortega. We're getting quagmired. So start with Africa scoring. Because Europe's well protected. Yeah, we'll start with Africa scoring. And we go Libthi, Laduk, other cards. And hope not to telegraph the fact we have Europe scoring as well. So Mexico, Brazil. Oh, the Middle East, of course, because it's still in play. Is NATO not in play? God, I thought I got 2VP specialization. What do I know? Please come out. Oh, that's not good. That's really, really, really not good. Hmm. Jam Saudi next? Oh, Event Marine Barracks. Very nice. Come on, please. Thank you. So they need a 3-op card to swing the Middle East, which we have to accept, but we can score European riposte. Even with the Middle East turning, we should be able to see this through. Ooh. Oh, fearing war games. That makes sense. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we... Yeah. Let's do that. Just in case they have Middle East scoring and got greedy. I think we'll event Evil Empire, Arab-Israeli War, and Korean War are still in the deck, and we can't space, and Brush War is. So we might get 10 cards that we're reluctant to Empire away. Coups are bad, but I'll tell you what's good, scoring points. I think we'll give up a VP for a coup here. We need Milops anyway. And if they're going to be like that, the early war dice weren't really in my favour, but the realigns in Central America, all the power cards, and all of the other coups since have gone well, so it's been rather lopsided. Unfortunate for Edge. So now we'll space an event an Evil Empire. Oh no, we won't. Blah. We take Cote d'Ivoire to protect Nigeria. How I learned in Brazil. Ah, yes, to try and sneak through. I see what you're doing. Didn't realise that I didn't have to play there immediately. So tear down this wall, brush wall. Oh boy, this is another stacked hand to finish. And Glasnost, which is currently not in effect. Sock goes out the deck, so we don't event Iron Lady. I think we can go Missile Envy here, right? Because we're getting purged. I suppose the problem with Missile Envy is specifically nuclear test ban is really bad for us. But it does highlight if they have any 4-op cards. Let's finish plugging the hand in and I can work out what I'm doing. Hiltstwend. Yeah, shot dip still in effect. Tear down this wall, of course, drops Defcon. So that's probably the play. Deny a coup. Follow up with the EU. I'll be eventing a ton of cards this turn, so ops are less important. Glasnost, oh, Missile Envy, yeah. Tear down this wall. 5 or a 6, please. Oh, a 6. Gross. Apparently we have to say please. Right, we're going to terrorism them because if they hold grain, CIA, Star Wars, or a combination thereof, they're sunk. And obviously we've got the Glasnost 2VP ABM. So let's start with terrorism. Okay. Pulls a card that we're not too worried about seeing. Grain goes to space. So what do we want? Right, if we event missile envy, what's the worst that could happen? Nuclear test ban pushes DEFCON up to 4 and we get to coup and counter coup. War Games ends the game and I win. We get Chernobyl or Iranian hostage crisis or Pershing. We can't. Yeah, we'll event missile envy. We can't lose the game with missile envy. And if he's got War Games, we steal it from him. And we can remove the cards from our tracker. Bless. I've been there. I just played through it because I'm a glutton for punishment. Getting murdered in Rutzel hasn't stopped me. But yeah, sometimes breaking things up is a good thing. Let's see whether or not they come back to it. But yeah, you know, I've been there. I do also seem to have a lot more success in the silver playoffs. End the game. Giving up the VP and winning with War Games. Yes, good game, good game. Right, thank you for watching. Feedback's always welcome. I probably made some mistakes along the way. I have been missing the chat, so I'll probably check in with them. But thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next round. Bye for now.